Okay, so this is a business in Australia because I'm from Australia, and this data was from the 11th of April this year. And so what it's actually showing is that there's about 1.1 thousand keywords that they're getting traffic from. They're getting about 5.6 thousand visits to their website. And the traffic cost, so how much it would actually cost them to get this same traffic if they tried to do it from Google AdWords, would be nearly 12,000 Australian dollars. Okay? So this is how much that traffic is worth. Now this client started SEO here. Now they've been paying me about $750 a month, Australian dollars a month, since back here, so around 2016. And you can see in the first year they had about 9,000 visits. In fact, their traffic actually went down a bit. And this can sometimes happen because sometimes a website can be getting completely irrelevant traffic. So it can be traffic that actually isn't bringing them any clients. And what we want to be giving them is traffic that's highly relevant. It's traffic that's actually going to bring you the kinds of clients that you want. Okay? So as you can see, we still had 9,000 visits, but the traffic actually kind of went down a bit. And for them, we're looking at like 18 months before they really started to see like this significant increase in their traffic. And then again, they went down again. Now in this case, it was because they had like a theme change and their theme wasn't recording all of their traffic. But they still showed like a huge increase. That's 34,000 visits compared to 17,000 visits. Sometimes you can get results like this because you might be at number 1 in Google, but the number of people that are actually searching for your product and service changes with time. And so this kind of, once you get up to sort of like number 1, 2, and 3, we often see, variations like this, and it can be due to the number of people that are searching. But again, you can see that we've had an improvement. And I often find that that's another thing that happens, is that we kind of get up here, we kind of almost reach a plateau, and then we have a surge again. And so you'll probably see that in some of these other graphs that I'm going to show you. But what I want to do now is just compare this to how much they invested with me for SEO compared to how much they would have had to invest to get this same traffic from Google Ads. Okay, so I'm going to show you this table. So this is the years. So this is year 1 of SEO, year 2, year 3, year 4. And so this is the organic traffic that they're getting from the website. So it's not paid. It's the organic traffic that they're getting from Google. And this is how much they've been paying for SEO. Now this is just a typical kind of client that I see. So a typical client is paying about $1,000 a month, so $12,000 a year. Now over here is how much it would have cost them to get this traffic from ads, so Google Ads. So what I often find is in the first year of SEO, they've spent $12,000 with me and they've got 2,000 visits from Google. Had they spent $6,000 on Google Ads, they could have got these 2,000 visits. So think about that for a minute. It actually cost them more in the first year of SEO to get their traffic than had they had ads. So you might be like, well, why would anyone want to do that? Why not just get ads? And that's what happens in a lot of cases. People go, I'm not getting the results from SEO, it's not really working, and so therefore, I might as well just do ads. And look, there's no problem with doing ads. I personally don't do ads for anybody, but I have a lot of clients that have ads as well as their SEO traffic. And certainly it's been shown that about 20% of people click on ads compared to 80% of people clicking on the organic listings. So that's something to keep in mind. So then what happens is in the second year, we're getting about 4,000 visits, and it's cost 12 grand for both of them. So again, in the second year, you're still probably ahead by using ads. But then we come to the third year, and in the third year, the amount of traffic that we get from SEO, and this is the cost it would have been to get that traffic from ads. So suddenly now in the third year, it's become way more cost effective to use SEO, to be spending that money on SEO than to be spending it on ads. And some people will do half and half. That's probably a good strategy. Spend half on SEO, spend half on ads. Until sometimes they get to the point where they're like, it's not even worth it with the ads. But in any case, then you've got the fourth year. They're spending $48,000 over the year on ads compared to $12,000 over the year on SEO to get this same traffic by then. So if we go back to this client up here, this was their cost per month. Well, that's 12 grand per month. So 12 times they would have had to spend 144,000 in year 4 for them to get this same traffic. Now they're in an industry where they can get a lot of traffic. Not everyone can get that much traffic, even if you're at number 1 or number 2 for your keywords. But this is the general kind of thing that happens. So this is what I'm showing you. Like, if you do this on your website, the long-term benefits are massive. And the other thing is that as soon as you stop your ads, so as soon as if this client was getting all of this traffic from ads and they stop their ads, they get 0 traffic. If you've got this traffic from SEO, if you stopped doing SEO, the amount of time it would take for your traffic to go back to 0 could be a few months, but is most likely to be years before it would go back to 0. So overall, SEO over the long term, SEO is incredibly powerful and is incredibly cost effective compared to doing ads. In the short term, it's not at all. So if you actually have a business and you're like, I really think I want to sell it in the next year or 2, then yeah, look, if you want to invest more in SEO so that you can say, yeah, look, this is where I'm ranking, sure. But if you wanted to build the business by getting loads more leads potentially in the next year or 2 in order to be able to sell it, then you may well be better off using ads. So I want you to sort of think about that as well, and think about, where are you at? Are you looking to grow this business long term, or are you looking to get out of it short term? What do you want to actually achieve? Because ads and SEO, even though we're going after the exact same people, the investment that you make in it can produce very different outcomes in the short term and in the long term. Okay, so here's another client that I want to show you. So they started SEO back in 2015, September 2015. And you can see they've kind of had this, exponential increase. Then they kind of reach this point again where they, or it kind of plateaus a bit. Sometimes it goes down if they're in an industry where there's actually less people searching them than there was then. And then we tend to have this bump again, which then kind of goes along like this for a bit. And that's the kind of pattern we're looking at. So again, look, this client's, their traffic is worth $12,000. That's how much they'd have to spend to get this traffic from AdWords. And this client has been spending $500 a month with me since September 2015. This is the power of just doing more each month, a little bit each month, a little bit each month, a little bit each month. Hugely powerful over time. So they're spending $6 grand they spent with me in 2020, and to get the same traffic from AdWords again is about $144,000. Like, crazy, right? That's crazy. Another one. Now they're in an industry where even though they're at number one, they can't get as much traffic. These other businesses, there's just a lot more traffic that they can get. There's a lot more people searching. It's probably the best way to say it. There's a lot more people searching. And so here in this one, again, they started in April 2016. Took a little while for them to get off the ground. And then, you know, they started to have this significant kind of increase in traffic. Sometimes when they get up here, number 1 and 2 for like the majority of their keywords, and then it can kind of become seasonal after that. So depending on what sort of months of the year are seasonal, you'll start seeing traffic happening like that. So that's completely normal as well. So again, they're not they just don't have as many people searching for them. So their traffic value is about $5,000 up here, but you know, that's still what, $60,000 it would be costing them in a year to get this traffic. Get this kind of thing often when you add like new products and services to a client's website. So they're kind of, you know, they're going along, it plateaus for a bit, and then you add some more stuff, whoop, up we go again. Anyway, the moral of the story is that most people give up on SEO too soon. The other thing that can happen is that you might have good SEO and then you might get a website redevelopment that like strips all the SEO out of your site, and then you might end up going back to square one.